The reading for this week is a little shorter, 3 chapters in diagnosing and changing organizational culture. If you want to walk through the reading with me, you're welcome to do so. It begins on page 23. The discussion centers on the organizational cultural assessment instrument, which is their way of describing their frames of reference, their perspectives on organizational culture. The focus of this, the point of an assessment, is not that of an anthropologist. I wonder what this is. I am curious about it. But for a leader, it's what's working, what needs to change, what's functional, what's dysfunctional. In a faith-based organization, it's what's healthy, what's unhealthy, what's leading toward Christ, what's moving us away or hindering us in pursuing Christ. If you will look at the top of page 25, the first full paragraph describes the piece to you there and how they go about using that assessment. They also assess it concerning what it is now and what would be the preferred culture. So when you do it with a business, you do it twice. You give a score for what they see is the culture today and what they see would be the preferred culture in the future. The instrument is on page 26, 7, and 8, and then the scoring system you can read for yourself. Chapter 3 is really the heart of the book. It is the framework. It's how it's their understanding of it. Take a look through that. They've given you a nice little piece of literature review on page 32 and 33. You might want to particularly note that they are seeing that the competing values framework has something to do with Myers-Briggs. You might look at your own Myers-Briggs and say, where does my personality tend to naturally fit in one of these 4 quadrants? And then there is a quote on page 33. I'm not going to read it for you, but they repeat that quote again on page 150. So it's pretty significant in their thinking. Take a good look at page 34. The difference in the 2 dimensions between being very open, flexible, and being controlled, being connected with people, being out there dealing with the environment. And that's what gives you the 4 quadrants, and you can read about those. The examples they give are extremes, and remember that. They really are extremes. The hierarchy culture, I mean, you can't get more hierarchical than McDonald's. That's just off the chart. And then for market, he deals with Jack Welch, and that's so far, that pushes so much out there. The clan culture is People Express Airlines, and the adhocracy culture is the Apollo 13. That's quite an interesting little story. Applying, he makes a couple of applications, and I want to read this one to you because it's really important. Page 47. He's applying it to organizational leadership, and of course that's our concern. And if you will notice, on page 47, last paragraph, parenthetically, we have also discovered that the highest performing leaders, those rated by their peers, superiors, and subordinates as the most highly effective, have developed capabilities and skills that allow them to succeed in each of the 4 quadrants. That's the deal. As they describe it, hard and soft, entrepreneurial, and controlled. They talk about organizational effectiveness. They give the example of total quality management. There's just a lot of good stuff here. The HR role is also described, and then change is described in the life of an organization. So take a good look at that particular chapter. Chapter 4 is different. When you are how they put together or built this cultural profile, you'll notice page 63, the first sentence. They say the renowned statistician John W. Tukey. My doctoral students will, almost all of them, will run Tukey tests on their data. And that gives you a hint as to what's in this chapter. There's a lot more technical material here. Here's what I recommend with that chapter. Don't let it harm your understanding of the beauty of this wonderful framework, this model. So read and what makes sense, underline. What doesn't make sense, you simply say, well, I probably don't need to know that anyway. And you would be right. When you get done, you're going to answer 3 questions. I, what idea and insight? C, connect with what you've learned before. E, what would you like to extend in knowledge and application? All right.